I would describe global mobility, well, first thing, because I think this is something that a lot of people actually do not know about. I feel like global mobility is truly very niched, and as particularly in APAC, I feel like most of the time when I'm trying to explain what I do to friends and family, they would have less of an idea. So I always begin by saying that, we are a branch of, human resource. And we support employees when it comes to relocating, which means moving themselves, uprooting themselves and their family from one location to another. As easy as it may sound, there is actually a lot of different things to take care of, and that could be from one thing, which is not to get yourself into trouble with in the eyes of law, so immigration, facilitating the visa process, ensuring that they are compliant from a tax standpoint, and right down to the nitty-gritty things or logistically, like packing their household goods and enrolling their children into a school. Yeah. So this is how I would describe global mobility to someone who have never heard of them before.
Global mobility allows for businesses to have their people where they need them at every moment in time, which is why it allows for people to move around. It is a partner to the business. But it's also sometimes a roadblock. And the reason why I'm saying this is because although yes, we as global mobility professionals enable the business to move the people where they need them, not every time can we move them at the fast pace that they need them to be. We are a roadblock as well because we have to be mindful of obligations. Like every regulation, we need to be always on top of that. So if something changes, we always need to be telling the business. And so not every single time can we move as fast as they want us to be moving. But that being said, we are, I want to say, the gatekeepers of their compliance.
So when I think of global mobility, I think of getting the right people in the right places at the right time. And ultimately, global mobility should be used as a talent strategy to attract and retain diverse talent. So while mobility professionals definitely are the gatekeepers and coordinate a lot of the logistics and make sure that we're staying compliant with immigration and tax and things like that, we're also a strategic partner. So we basically advise and counsel and educate businesses and come up with creative solutions to help businesses manage and meet their goals. And we also empower employees. And the mobility program is empowering employees to advance their career. You will find that in a lot of global companies, global mobility opportunities is important for employees as it relates to their career advancement and growth.
I think there are a number of different ways in which the mobility space is supported. You have the corporate side of things where you're working for an employer and you're supporting the business, you're supporting the employees and their families from an internal standpoint as the company. And then you also have the external stakeholders, the various vendors that are supporting the life cycle of someone's assignment or someone's relocation. So, whether it's wanting to work from an internal standpoint, typically being a part of an HR organization, or wanting to support from providing services from a vendor perspective, there is an endless number of opportunities that are available.
So within global mobility, there's a lot of different options for careers. There's kind of the mobility generalist, who would be similar to an HR generalist, but focus more on mobility specific assignments and working with an expat population of employees. There are also different opportunities within tax and immigration. Depending upon the size of a company, there may be individuals who handle each of the different aspects of mobility, but you'll see with a lot of smaller companies that mobility is kind of an all-inclusive role where you have the ability and opportunity to work in a lot of different areas and become a subject matter expert on all things mobility.
There are a lot of opportunities for global mobility professionals. So you can focus on taxes, and you will be responsible for tax advising on tax advisory on global mobility programs. If you are more interested in EU regulations and worldwide regulation in terms of physically bringing people to new countries, you can focus and you can develop yourself in immigration. So you will become immigration advisor. There is also big relocation industry where global mobility professionals are supporting expats with their daily obligations, especially for the first days in new country, like relocation, transportation, looking for apartments, setting up bank accounts, and or helping with paperwork, especially with authorities. On top of that, there are a lot of fields which should be fulfilled by people who would like to advise on labor law aspects and posted worker directive. So as you can see, global mobility is a big part of the industry where you can really fit into and develop your career. So from HR to taxes, through immigration, ending up in relocation services. So really, it depends on your personal interests or things that drive you on, but you can develop yourself.
Wanting to have that really high level of customer service. And I think there's a lot of different angles of how people get into global mobility. There's a lot of people who get in through tax, a lot of people get in through immigration, through relocation. And I think that there's, depending on the company, there's definitely levels that you could get into, that really can start you at the ground floor, if you will, and really still make an impact. So I think that there's definitely opportunities for new people coming in and joining the industry.
Having experience in global mobility truly prepares you for different career paths. What I have experienced myself, or sometimes when I think, okay, what's next for me after global mobility, I can truly see myself moving into consultancy, partnering organization to look at their talent mobility program, strategizing how they are going to build their succession planning around the mobility of the employees, whether they are truly mobile or virtually mobile, building that breadth of geographical experience. The other aspect of global mobility is you partner the employee and the business on a day-to-day basis. In essence, you are doing a HR business partnering role. You take the elements from the business, you look at the business strategy, and you determine how the employee that you are going to select is going to support that strategy. So from a global mobility consultant or specialist, you can go into the direction of an HR business partnering. Other aspects would be about compensation and benefits. You know numbers, you crunch them on a daily basis. You look at tax elements, you look at the benefits that the employee gets on their home package, what they are going to get at host. How do you create that balance? How do you maintain internal equity? Why not? You can easily move to a comp and ben specialist role after being global mobility. I think sometimes we have always said that global mobility is so specialized, is so that it can make it restrictive. For me, it's just opened so many doors. You just need to tap on the right skills. You need to really sell your capabilities and really leverage on all the learnings that you have received during your journey as a global mobility specialist to create your next career path.
So just some general tips, I think, that applies to any profession and career. I think most people need to have an open mind about new challenges or taking on stretch assignments, because you never know what you're going to learn and where it's going to lead you. In terms of, for me, taking on this tax audit project allowed me to discover a different part of HR that I never thought of as a possible career. It also introduced me to new interests that were really appealing. So getting into mobility, the interest of serving people from a customer experience perspective, mixed with some theoretical, right, in terms of understanding taxation or immigration and that are involved in mobility. It was really a good and ideal mix for me in terms of a profession to pursue.
Expand the diversity within their teams, bring talent not only for the pool of the own country, but also from abroad, to make sure it can actually also be a tool of reward, to make sure talents are satisfied and talents are trained to the extent of other departments or other areas as well, not only in the same country but in other branches, other areas of the business and the world as well. So sometimes it's considered as a cost, but I think that the return on investment is much higher than the actual cost of assignment.